Factoring the sum and difference of two cubes. So before we can factor the sum and difference of two cubes, first we have to know what the word cube means. So the word cube means it is a number that is a product of multiplying another number by itself 3 times. Let's take for example x cube or x to the power of 3. X cube or x to the power of 3 is the product or the result that you will get if imong i-multiply si x sa iyang kaugalingon ug ikatulo. So x times x times x 1, 2, 3, that will give you x cube. So this factoring technique, factoring the sum and difference of two cubes, will only work if we are dealing with cubes. So unsa pa man ang mga lain na numbers or polynomials na cube. Let's take for example, or let's take a look at the number 8. So is the number 8 a cube? Makahuna-huna ba tag number na i-multiply na to sa iyahang kaugalingon ug ikatulo makakuha tag 8? So the answer is yes, because if we multiply 2 times 2 times 2, katulo na to gi-multiply si 2 sa iyang kaugalingon, makakuha tag 8. 2 times 2, you get 4. 4 times 2, you get 8. Arita sa 16. Is 16 a cube? Can we think of a number that we can multiply by itself 3 times so that we can get 16? If we multiply 2 by itself 3 times, you will get 8. If we multiply 3 times 3 times 3, 3 times 3, that is 9. 9 times 3, that is 27. So, 27 ang sunod na cube ni 2. Therefore, si 16, kay wala may number na pwede na to i-multiply sa iyang kaugalingon ikatulo na makakuha tag 16, is not a cube. Dili ni cube si 16 kay walay number na imong i-multiply ug ikatulo sa iyang kaugalingon na makakuha tag 16. How about 125? Is 125 a cube? The answer is yes, because we can multiply 5 to itself 3 times to get 125. 5 times 5 equals 25 times 5 equals 125. Another example, 8a squared. Is this a cube? The answer is no. Although, cube si 8, kay ato nang nakita ganina na kung 2 atong gamiton, i-multiply na to sa iyong kaugalingon ug ikatulo, makakuha tag 8. Pero if we look at a squared, it is not a cube. So, therefore, the entire monomial is not a cube. So, this is not a cube. Next, 27b cube. Let's look at the number 27 first. Is 27 a cube? The answer is yes, because 3 times 3 times 3, you get 27. And b cube is obviously a cube. So, 3b times 3b times 3b, you will get 27b cube. So, 27b cube is also a cube. Okay, now that we know what the word cube means, let's proceed with factoring the sum and difference of two cubes. So, mo factor ta og duha ka cube na either gi sum gani, either gi add or gi subtract. So, let's take a look at the two examples illustrated here. So, the first one, a cube plus b cube. So, again, para magamit ni na technique, we have to make sure na cube gyud ang atong gi-answer or ang atong gi-anseran. So, a cube ug b cube. Okay, pareho silang cube. And, duha sila ka buok. Duha ka terms. First term is a cube, second term is b cube. They are separated by the plus sign. So, how do we factor this kind of polynomial? There is a pattern that we can follow to factor this kind of polynomial. The pattern is like this. First, we have to look for the cube root of a cube. So, ang cube root ni a cube, imong hunahunahon unsa na number or letter ang imong gimultiply og ikatulo para nakakuha kag a cube. And obviously, the answer is a. So, ato'y sulat si a as the first factor. Again, since we are dealing with factors, naagyod tay duha ka book factors. This is the first factor, this is the second factor. So, to identify the first factor, kwaon sa nato ang cube root sa first term. Okay, now we will look for the cube root of the second term, which is b cube. So, unsay cube root sa second term? The cube root of the second term is b. Because b times b times b, you will get b cube. To get the remaining factors, or the remaining terms in the second factor, we have to remember this pattern. The first and the last terms are the squares of the cube roots. So, kung kani daw, ato ni siyang square, mo ni ang first term. Kung kaning b sad, atong square, mao nang mahimong last term. So, unsay square sa a, that is a squared. Unsay square sa b, that is b squared. To get the middle term, all you have to do is multiply both the cube roots, that is AB. This time, ang kulang na lang is to identify the signs. Since we are dealing with the sum of the cubes, we will copy the sign positive, and then we will use negative para sa middle term and positive again for the last term. So, if it is positive, the pattern is plus, minus, plus. What if we are dealing with negative cubes? We will follow ang pattern na atong gibuhat diri. So, again, pila ang cube root ni a cube? That is a. Pila ang cube root ni b cube? That is b. Si a atong square, you will get a squared. Si b atong square, you will get b squared. If atong i-multiply ang duha, you will get ab. This time, maglahi ra sila sa sign. Because we will follow this sign. Minus. Since minus man siya, ang sunod natong gamiton kay plus. And the last term is always positive. So again, if difference atong gisolve, the pattern for the signs will be minus, plus, plus. So this is how our pattern will look like. Let's take a look at the example given in your module. So the first example is m cubed minus r cubed. Again, first step, make sure cube ang duha ka terms. So m cubed and r cubed are obviously cubes. And we are dealing with difference. So ato siyang i-factor. To factor that one, first, we have to get the cube root of the first term, which is m. Next, get the cube root of the last term, which is r. To solve for the factors or the remaining terms of the second factor, all we have to do is square na to ang first term diri. So, kung square ni siya, mahimo ni siyang m squared. Para sa last term, this will become r squared. For the middle term, i-multiply ra nato sila. That is mr. Now, let's look at the sign. Since we are dealing with a negative or the difference of two cubes, so the sign will be negative, positive, positive. Because the last term is always positive. Second example, we have here h cubed plus 8. So, balik, ato yung i-make sure na cube ni silang duha. So, h cubed is obviously a cube. Si 8, We already know sa atong example ganina na cube sad because 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. So, pwede nato ni ma-factor using the sum, kay plus man ang sign dire, the sum of 2 cubes. So, let us try to factor. To factor, tanaw na to ang cube root ni h cube. The cube root of h cube is h. The cube root of 8 is 2. Okay, arita sa second factor. So, for the first term, square na to ang first term sa dire. So, this will become h squared. For the middle term, i-multiply ra na tong duha. H times 2, that is 2h. For the last term, himuon ra taning square ang last term sa dire. So, 2 squared, that is 2 times 2, or 4. So, unsa man ang sign na atong gamiton? Since we are dealing with the sum of 2 cubes, we will copy the sign, positive. The next one sa atong pattern is negative. And then, of course, the last term is always positive. So, this is how you will factor this example. And the last example na naa sa inyuhang module is 8b cubed plus 27. So, again, atong i-make sure na cube ang duha. 8 is a cube number, pareha sa example sa number 2. B cube is also a cube. 27 is a cube because 3 times 3 times 3, makakuha ta og 27. So, pwede na to ni siyang i-factor using the sum of 2 cubes. So, what is the cube root of 8b cube? Cube root of 8 is 2. Cube root of b cube is b. What is the cube root of 27? The cube root of 27 is 3. This time, para makuha na tong sunod na factors, ato ni siyang square. So, 2b squared, or kung may tag square, 2b times 2b. So, 2 times 2, kuha kag 4. b times b, that is b squared. Next, ang middle term, ato ra ning i-multiply ang duha. 2b times 3, that is 6b. And for the last term, atong square ang last term dire. So, 3 squared, that is 9. For our signs, since we are dealing with the sum of the cubes, our sign pattern will be positive, negative, positive. So, this is how you will factor that